Leon, going back to what you said about the media, so you said that Trump, you think, deliberately kind of perpetuates the chaos, all of these stories going on so that the media can't focus in on one thing and maybe find something out. Whereas I think the rest of the world would probably say, well, actually, it's the media that's perpetuating the chaos to keep Donald Trump from doing what he wants to do, from accomplishing his agenda. But you're saying it's the opposite, right?
No, I think Trump is totally in control of it. I think he does it on purpose. And I said before the RNC, most people have a crisis management team. I think Trump has a crisis creation team.
And so you think, though, that he wanted people to know this classified information scandal and the scandal with Flynn and with Comey? How is that good for his presidency? Why would he create it, maybe unintentionally? Well, but you're saying he would intentionally create that on his presidency?
I do think that, and here's why. I think that what President Trump, it's been remarked often that he's the first kind of reality TV president. And I think a lot of people are misunderstanding or mischaracterizing what that means. For Donald Trump, the most important thing is that people keep talking about him, no matter what it is. And I think that he intentionally does things.
Why wouldn't he want people to be talking about the speech that he gave in Saudi Arabia
a
few days ago?
He understands that by constantly keeping various crises or controversies in the media, he doesn't allow people to lock on and to focus on any one thing because he keeps us rolling onto the next thing every 2-3 days.
Plus, those are more exciting.
Yeah, it's more so. It's like if you have a homing missile and it's trying to lock in on a plane, how do you distract it? You throw a bunch of shiny bits of stuff in the air and the missile can't lock onto the plane anymore. That's Trump. He's just constantly.
I think that's crazy. It might be unintentional, but to think that someone intentionally wants their presidential legacy to be that and not be fighting terrorism. I mean, if anyone listened to his speech or watched his speech, which I know you guys all did, you saw that he's passionate about ending terrorism. Why would he not want his presidency to be remembered for that? Then all these scandals.
He necessarily doesn't. I don't think he doesn't want to be remembered by that, but I think he's thinking in the short term that in order to get things done, he needs to keep the media as distracted as possible so he can actually accomplish his agenda. I think his presidency will be one that is defined and judged by his actions after the fact. Which I don't think that we're going to be able to give him a fair shake now, even if we wanted to.
Yeah, it's just important to note, though, that this is your hypothetical view that he is creating this. We have no evidence to know that he would want this. We don't know his intentions. Maybe he's unintentionally doing this. Maybe he's intentionally doing this. It seems illogical to think that he would intentionally create this mess for himself. Intentionally, I think it would be unintentional.
If he's accidentally creating a new crisis or controversy every 2 days that sucks the media in as powerfully as it does.
It's not that hard. 80% of the media is out to get him. It is not that hard to suck him in.
That has never been seen before.
It's not that hard. The media is digging up stories from 25 years ago. They're digging up stories from 25 years ago.
But the reality is we don't know.
Media generated. Some of it is media generated, sure. But I do think, and I think that when that happens, Donald Trump is like, oh, well, here's another thing. I don't think that all of it is necessarily him planted or him created. I do think, and I have said this a number of times, I think a number of times he has intentionally had people in his administration leak intentionally false stories to the media.
Do you know that?
Which he has then come out and said, just the number of times
it's not known, but it is highly suspected. Breitbart and what's his name, the guy, crazy guy.
Jones.
Yeah, Alex Jones. That just before the White House did something, Jones broke it.
Well, and there's so much misinformation that it's important to say it's highly suspected. We don't know for sure. It goes back to Caleb's point. We don't know yet. And that's where I think we have to be careful when we're talking to the American people, because I'm confused by all of this. The American people have got to be really confused by all of this. So what do we know is fact, and what do we know is speculation, and what do we not know until the investigation's concluded?
Okay, so I agree with you. When we're talking about rule of law, you're innocent until proven guilty. This stuff where they're talking about impeachment and everything else is absolutely wrong. You don't have anything yet. You have nothing. You have smoke. How much of that smoke is real? How much of that smoke is not real? We don't know. I'd hate to have your job right now because you don't know you don't know what's what yet. So you take your foot off the gas. However, as people, I think it's incumbent upon us not to just blindly follow anyone. We have to take the things that we know about a man's character. So when you're talking about, I think he intentionally causes some of this. Let me show you one example of last week. I don't think he intentionally did any of those things except perhaps one. When he was in the Oval Office, he tries to make himself look good. He's with the Russians. You wouldn't believe how great I am and how many great things I get. I'm greater than you. Our intelligence is greater than yours. I'm great, I'm great, I'm great, I'm great, I'm great. He says something stupid because he wants to say, I'm great. It's the biggest, it's the best. Our CIA is gold-plated.
That's
That
far
came
more
out-
believable. I said that would make sense.
There was no malice there. It's just his personality. He wants to be the best in the room, okay?
Yeah.
When it comes to the Comey, I think there's something different happening here. I think when he talked to Comey and said, hey, you got to get off this guy, he's not trying to obstruct justice. He's trying to say, you on my team, you off my team. I want you on my team. Come on my team. Look, he's a nice guy. He's already paid for it. There's nothing here because I think he really believes there's nothing there. Come on, get off that. So I don't think he's trying to obstruct justice. It looks like it. It's bad.
It's not
Comey
very wise. It wasn't a very wise.
Wasn't
It's not a wise political
Wasn't
move,
wise.
which he does all the time.
So here's what I think he did do last week, and before I tell you why, what I think he did, let me tell you why I think this is possible. 5 a.m. in the morning, up until he was president of the United States, I hope to God he's still not doing it, but he probably is. 5 o'clock in the morning, he had a butler take clippings to him. Anytime his name was mentioned anywhere in the world, it went into a file, and it was presented to him every morning at 5 a.m., and he spent his first half hour of his day just reading about him. Well, there's something kind of wrong about that, and it shows he is focused on him, me. As long as they're talking about me is his slogan. It doesn't matter, good, bad, indifferent, it doesn't matter.
Which works in reality television.
Correct. They're talking about me. And he is a reality television kind of guy. Nobody knows who's going to be the Supreme Court justice except me. Watch tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. I mean, that's the kind of guy he is, okay? Hang on, that's what he does. Now, you can't argue with that as his pattern. Now, maybe he woke up as the president of the United States and said, I'm not that guy anymore. But this is the way he's been for 40 years. Pride runs him. Pride is all he's about. So, storyline, reality television, wanting to make him look good, wanting to maybe teach others a lesson. He likes to make sure that you are on his side, and he's going to test you. And the way he tests people is, will you throw gasoline on yourself and light a match? Nothing else is good enough. You have to destroy yourself for him, and then he'll count you as one of his own.